After what, like a year and 3 months of waiting, Super Mario Sunshine is finally on Nintendo Switch Online. It took them long enough, but it does have a few issues, and one of the big ones is the controls. If you're not playing with a GameCube controller, the controls really suck, which is weird because they worked great in All Stars. But thankfully Nintendo has an option for button mapping, so I think I've created the most ideal controls for Super Mario Sunshine on Switch. This is pretty much based off the 3D All-Stars controls, and while it is a bit still janky, there's not really much I can do, because Sunshine wasn't built around this controller. But for casual play, this should be just fine. The main issue is that the Switch controller just doesn't have pressure-sensitive trigger support like the GameCube does. And in Mario Sunshine, it's pretty much how you control how much water shoots out of FLUDD. So no matter what I do, Mario will always be shooting out water at full force. The Mario 3D All-Stars controls are not perfect, but they work, and work way better than the Nintendo Switch Online controls. Let's take a look at the 3D All-Stars controls. To make up for the fact that there's no pressure-sensitive triggers, they map the R button, which wasn't on a GameCube controller, to the stop and squirt button, and the ZR button is a running and squirt button. Basically, ZR is a half press, and R is a full press. On the GameCube Switch Online version, it's swapped. So R is a half press and ZR is a full press, which honestly just doesn't really feel that well. So that's the first thing I swapped back. In Mario 3D All-Stars, the jump button was B and A, which felt a lot more natural. But on the NSO release, the jump button is only A, and I didn't really use A to jump. So I basically just swapped the A and B buttons around, which does make navigating the menus a bit more difficult, but it's really not noticeable after like 2 minutes. If you jump with A, then I wouldn't really recommend changing this. And now it's time for Mario Cam. Mario Cam is mapped to the Y button on the NSO GameCube release, but in 3D All-Stars, it was mapped to pressing the R trigger. I think this is much better than what it is on GameCube Switch Online, but it doesn't allow you to map the R joystick button. So I just made it the up button on the D-pad since it's unused. It's not ideal, but it works perfectly fine. And now it's time for the Y button. Since the Y button was the Mario Cam, I changed it to be the dive button just like it was in 3D All-Stars. So now if you want to jump with B, A and Y have basically the same function. And that's pretty much all of the controls that I changed. Here's the comparisons on screen for you. A few things to note is that obviously this isn't perfect. You have to hold the R button to be able to charge the rocket and turbo nozzles. You can't use the ZR button because it fills up really slowly. But if you've played 3D All-Stars and want to play the NSO GameCube release, and you don't have a GameCube controller, this is probably the most accurate control scheme. Again, it's not perfect, but it's the best I could do. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what control scheme is best for you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.